how does jealousy and envy impact relationships? What is the difference between a healthy relationship and unhealthy as it relates to those two things? Okay, jealousy and envy. Is a certain amount of jealousy healthy in a relationship? Or is there a certain amount of envy? Because again, we talked about this on, let's see, yesterday was Thursday. We talked about this on Wednesday, the difference between envy and jealousy. So let me repeat it one more time because people get a little bit confused. Envy is when we want something that somebody else has, okay?
Yeah.
So somebody has a big house. Our house is not so big. We are envious because they have a big house, okay? They have a higher paying job than we do. We're envious because they have a higher salary, okay?
You want that house.
Exactly. So jealousy is when you have something or you feel you have something, you feel somebody wants to take it or you feel like you're losing it or something, okay?
Oh.
So that's the difference, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. So envy is about seeing what others have that you don't have. Jealousy is about, feeling like you have something and maybe you're losing it or you're threatened or whatever. Okay. So Mila, we'll start with you. You were the first person here, so we'll start with you. Okay.
Ladies first.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. So kind of you.
You're welcome.
So I told before that I don't find jealousy and envy the bad feelings. It seems to me they can help us to understand our personality better and what are we interested in and who we are interested in. It's also very important. The bad thing about them is our actions. If we can be quite honest with ourselves and can understand that we feel jealous and envy. It depends only on us what actions we like to show. Or we can not blocking this feeling is also not good, but we can try to change it because any feeling it's a kind of amount of energy, and it can help to improve our personality, our personal traits. But if we choose to just behave in an aggressive way towards others, it's not good. It doesn't mean that we master this feeling. We understand it good enough. So it's not about feeling, it's about us. That's it. And about relationships, healthy relationships, I don't believe that we are all white and like angels. Each of us has dark side. And again, if maybe each couple should decide what amount of jealousy and envy is okay in their relationships. Does it help to improve your relationships or on the contrary destroy them? So I don't have a certain question for the second, or a certain answer for the second question, because again, if your jealousy harm your partner or destroy relationships, just decrease amount. If it's okay, so maybe it helps your partner to evaluate. I don't know.
Okay.
The way I see it, we should to respect this point, jealousy, okay? Because in general, these are one of the many fundamental important to get a successful and good relationship, but not too much. Because if you get it more than this, you will just fill the relationship between other people. I respect that at all, because when you ask about someone and you want to know what happens in their life, you can help them and make contributions in their life, and that's so important, but not too much, because anything you do it too much, it's gonna fail between others. But this is a good thing, the jealousy, and but on the other hand, you must trust for other people, okay? But the envy, it's not good feeling at all, when you just want and hope to get something you don't have it from others. You can just feel happy for others to get that, and make what you can to do it for getting this thing. That's where I see it. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a quick question. When we think about something you said is that some jealousy is good. You said some of it's good for relationship. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're in a relationship with somebody, okay, hypothetically, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you do something, maybe a guy walks up to you and says, "Hey, you look really nice," okay, or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, whatever it is, okay. And the guy and the person you're in a relationship with there, and he doesn't say anything about it. Are you gonna feel like mad because he should have, said something?
That's not good when you don't care for me at all and you don't ask me something like that. I think that occasionally, okay, that's between something, the jealousy, it gets help for other relationship, and another time it gets not good. That's what I mean it. Not all the time, yes.
Well, the reason I ask you that question is because there are some people that would say that in that situation that if the person you're in a relationship, let's say they're just standing close by you and they walk over to you and say, "Hey, I didn't like that you were talking to that guy," or maybe they go to the guy and say something. Okay, if they choose not to do that, that doesn't mean, well, I believe it doesn't mean they don't care about you, right? It might mean that, they know that, I don't know how to say it. They might think that you don't need help, that, that in other words, you are able to, it's not a bad thing. It's a compliment. Maybe they say something about you, "Well, you look really nice," and it's a compliment. Okay. So it's not an attack on you. It's different if a guy comes up to you and maybe, tries to grab you or something, right? Now that's different because that's like, an assault. That's like
Yes, it's
but
different.
but if somebody says, "Well, you look really nice," okay, that's a compliment, right? So would you still expect the person you're with to come up and say something, or do you think that they're going to be? Because to me, if a person pays you a compliment, that's not something to be jealous about, just because somebody pays you a compliment, right?
But a lot of people just feel jealousy about this situation.
Okay, 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 okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
I can't get my head around. Maybe I didn't realize your question.
No. And the reason I say this, let me again, we're all from different cultures, okay? Many cases, different religions and stuff too. But because of our cultural backgrounds, in some cultures, if a stranger walks up to you, and let's say you're the person that's in your life that's important to you is standing next to you, and the stranger walks up to you and says, "Well, you look really nice." In some cultures, that would be considered very inappropriate, right? Right?
That's very what?
Very inappropriate. It's not appropriate.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm, I don't get the last word, so I
Okay,
can't answer for you.
appropriate. So or somebody can maybe somebody can. I wish my Arabic was better. I only know 5 words. Okay, so. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Can you express it in Arabic, maybe?
I can express it in English, so I can. So Najat, he's saying that if, for example, you and your
Uh-huh.
husband are walking, and some stranger, for example, Richard, come to you and say, "You look nice," and in front of your husband, how would your husband react?
Okay, you mean what my husband gonna react from this boy
Yeah,
said for me?
from Richard say, "You look nice."
It's yes,
Is
sure.
it
They're
normal?
gonna fight with that guy.
That's the point.
Oh,
Yeah. So
thanks.
you
Yeah.
said it's inappropriate, means it's not it's rude in your
Reaction.
culture. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight because I said you look nice, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna fight with that guy, but that's not good thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, and again, I know some of this is a cultural thing because here in my country, you would not get in a fight over something like that. Matter of fact, most guys would tell the other guy, "Well, thank you. Yes, she is nice. Okay, and she's with me. Okay, right." But it's not something you would ever get in a fight over. Never. Okay, never.
But Richard, I'd like to ask you a question about it. I
Sure.
mean, about jealousy.
Sure.
Usually in our country, there's a stereotype conception that women are more jealous than men. So that sort of, I mean, that sort of thinking is available in USA. So, or what?
You're asking me if women in the USA are more jealous than men?
I mean, usually there is a conception in our country that women are more jealous than men. But I like to ask you, is that sort of conception available in, I mean, in USA?
Wow. Yeah, I know that is a hard question to answer, huh? I think in general, probably so. In general, probably so. Yeah, I would say.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I would say in general, probably so. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, everyone, of course, has their. I have my own individual view on that. I have a lot of views on that. Okay, but I think in
okay.
general, most people would think that here in my country, in the U.S., that women tend to be more jealous than guys. Yeah. Yeah.
It is not the case that in America, or, I mean, it can it can happen in any country, regardless of any country, any nation. You know?
Well, everyone is an individual, so it depends
Yeah,
upon the
yeah, I
individual, right?
understand.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
so before we go, go ahead, Mila. Uh-huh.
About jealousy, according researchers, even babies several months old, they can experience jealousy. And if we look at brain processes, it's like the same processes when we experience fear. So when we are scared, jealousy is quite normal emotion, quite normal feeling when we are afraid to lose something or someone what we care. So
Yeah, no, I think it is a very natural. No, I think it's a very natural emotion. Yeah, I agree, Mila. I think and I do agree. It's somewhat innate in us, right, when we're born, and it's just a natural, reaction. Yeah, I would agree with that.
and maybe we are uncertain with these relationships. We don't know, does this person love us or what he or she wants exactly. So we don't know our position. So
Well,
that's why we can worry, we can just feel jealousy. So again, sorry.
No. You just said a key point, and I think that this goes back to something that Najat you said as well. You said as well. My dog. The point is that, you know, it comes, if you remember the articles we read on Wednesday, what were those articles talking about? The articles talked about jealousy, it comes from us, okay? So in other words, it feeds on insecurity. If we are not feeling secure about something, okay, we often express or you know, feel jealous about something, okay, because we feel threatened. You know, something we have, we feel we're going to lose it, so we feel threatened, okay? And that's a natural reaction, okay? But a lot of it comes from a feeling of insecurity about something, you know, and that's why people say, you know, and again, every relationship is different, but, you know, some people need constant reassurance, okay? Some people don't, because everyone's different, okay? And that's what makes it so challenging, right? Because each of us is different that way, and some people are used to being constantly reassured of something. Other people, they don't need that. So each person's different. You know, I guess the point is, okay. So any more questions for Najat?
Najat, you told that envy is a very bad emotion or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's very bad to experience this feeling and to want other people's property. Okay, but anyway, we from time to time we feel it. Do you know maybe some methods how to I don't know how to change this feeling into positive one, and if you know what kind of positive
Normal feeling. Yeah.
Normal feeling.
Yeah, you can feel it all the time. It's normal. You can feel it but you must to change it, and you have to change your thinking about that, because it's not good when you want something from others. They have it. You have to work about yourself, and you can get it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like extreme plus and extreme minus. Extreme minus is envy. What is extreme plus? In feelings, gratitude, happiness, proud of someone's success.
Mm-hmm.
What is according to you?
I just said what I understand it from envy. It's when you want something from others and you hope to lose it. Okay, other people lose something, and that's not good. That's what envy mean in me.
You want them don't have anymore what they have. Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to have this thing anymore, and you want just to get it for yourself.
Okay.
And yeah, that's not good.
Okay. Good point. Very good point. Thank you for the question, and Najat, thank you for a very good response as well. Let's go to Saif. Saif, are you able to speak now? Saif? No? Okay, so Saif's not able to speak. He's just going to look at us, okay? All right.
Can I say something about it?
Well, give me a few minutes, because we have some other people in line ahead of you. I want to make sure we get to everybody. I know it's late for you, but we have somebody.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we go. Yeah. So let me go see if Flori's here. Flori, are you still here? I think we lost her, huh? We lost Flori. Yep, we lost her. Okay, let me go to Hiroki. It's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning for you, so we'll go to you, Mr. Hiroki. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I think the jealousy of the relationship, right? And it's different from envy in English.
Yeah, jealousy and envy are different, huh?
yeah, in the definition in the previous class, and I think yeah, it's kind of natural reaction sometimes for many people, I think. But as we read the article yesterday and the day before yesterday, maybe too much jealousy, how can I say, is maybe person has some kind of lack of confidence or insecure feeling behind too much jealousy. It could be a natural feeling, but if it is too much or if it is uncontrollable, maybe that person needs to deal with such insecure feeling or maybe lack of confidence problem well, maybe needs to think where does the feeling come from. Accusing the partner is the easiest way, but I don't think it solves the problem. So the person want to really solve the problem. Also, yeah, they need to deal with that. Also, some cultural issue probably. So in Japan, maybe somebody says your wife is beautiful. It's okay, but the fight is probably won't happen. But maybe the husband sometimes feel uncomfortable. Also, wife also maybe not so many people say that directly to their partners.
Right.
Yeah, maybe so it's some cultural issues also, but anyway, jealousy is it could be a natural feeling, but it's not so productive feeling, I guess.
Well, okay. So very interesting, Hiroki. So let me ask you. Again, you said that in your country, maybe if somebody walks up to your wife or your girlfriend and says, "Oh, you're beautiful," they probably would not start fighting over that, right? He might feel a little bit uncomfortable with that, the guy. Okay.
So many people feel that person is strange. It's just walking, and for example, at a party, or they know each other, but a stranger, even for the maybe for the unmarried, man and woman, all of a sudden stranger approach to him on the street, to her, on the street, could be scary or could be weird here.
Okay.
Maybe kind of process is necessary. but some guy is doing that on the street actually. But I think many women dislike that action probably. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you, and I know you cannot answer this question, but I'm asking you as a way to provoke responses from other people because of your culture, you're not allowed to do this. But I'm curious, and for those that this relates to their culture, I'm not trying to be provocative. I'm just curious about something. So when we are in a monogamous situation, right, where we're having intimate relationships with one person only. How when you are living in a culture that allows you to have more than one wife, okay, how does that work out? Okay.
Because I've never lived such society, but maybe jealousy would happen among the several significant others. And also kids, I'm worried about kids, how they identify, or maybe even among the kids, some complicated issue would happen. That's why nowadays many societies shifting to monogamy. However, human relations kind of feeling and emotion is changeable actually. So sometimes I think that's why couple need contract, because marriage is a contract according to the law. So human emotion itself is changeable sometimes, but causing having a relationship, especially having a baby, in the different person and in my family, such kind of situation, sometimes complicated. I'm afraid of complicated situation would happen. But yeah, that's I don't know. I think reason why I think so because I'm living in such monogamy on
Right,
both sides.
right.
But yeah, that's my concern about that.
Well, okay, we already did. Now, Najat, I think in your country, men are allowed to have more than one wife, right? I think, right?
Oh,
Najat?
sorry.
Yeah, Najat? Okay, she might not be here.
Hello.
Yes? Safe, is that you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just I can say that all Arab countries, I mean Muslim countries, a man allowed to marry 4 women. That's in religion. So yes, whether it's from Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Egypt, yes, this is it depends upon you. If you have a lot of money and you are physically enough to deal with women, so you are allowed to marry 4 women.
Well, okay, so safe in those countries where I know you're saying from a religious standpoint you can, but I think in secular countries you can't. Even if you're a Muslim, I think in secular like Algeria or I don't know Algeria. I know in Tunisia you cannot. Legally you cannot have more than one wife, even though it's an Arab country. But my question, so safe, I'll ask you. So how do you think that, we're talking about jealousy, right? And so how does that, okay, so safe, let's say you have 4 wives, okay? Safe. You decide you want to get married to 4 women, okay? Have 4 wives. How aren't they going to be jealous with each other all the time?
The jealousy, it will come, the jealousy begin when there is no equality between them. But when there is equality, that means if you sleep 2 days with a woman, you should sleep 2 days with the other woman as well. And if you buy anything from the market, you need to buy for all women. That means there should be equality. If there's no equality, yes, they will feel jealousy. And you don't need to show only love for one person, one woman only.
Wow. Wait, I'm writing this down because this is interesting to me, okay? Okay. So you better have a lot of energy and a lot of money, okay, right? That's what you're saying, okay? Right? Okay.
And you know what? If you go to the market and you buy, for example, a dress for one woman, and you have got 4 women, when you buy, you need to buy for all the 4 women. If you bought for one woman, it is religious. In religion, it is not good. Even you will be accountable by the religion standpoint.
Okay. All right. Well, no, because for people that live in countries like my country or other countries, some other countries where that's not legal, we would never even think about that situation because obviously we can't do that, so we wouldn't even think about it. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Does somebody have a question? Okay. Oh,
I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I didn't understand why you brought religion topic here.
Well,
That's
no.
Not you. It's about Saif. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not you, Richard. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about. The question is for Saif. I didn't understand. What's the point?
So we're
talking about jealousy and envy.
Sorry for that. But I wanted to let everyone know that why men married 4 women, because they are this from religion standpoint. Where do they come from this? In other religions, a man should not allow to marry 4 women.
Brother, but for in Islam, okay, you are allowed to marry 4 women, but I think if you are capable to
even in Quran it says that you should marry. Yes.
If she is sick, if she can't have a baby, if there is an excuse, but it is not obligation or like a rule that the man will marry for 4 women. I think it is not a concept like in Islam.
No, I differ.
If there is a circumstance.
Yeah, safe. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Safe.
I mean,
we hear you.
if you have a lot of money, you can marry. If you don't have money, you can marry one.
Safe.
But safe. Even you have a lot of money, when
Yeah.
justify with all of them,
Yeah.
how you will be fair with all of them. Even our Prophet Muhammad, he loves Aisha, so but he is fair with all his women, but he's a prophet.
Yeah, he's the prophet, but the thing is safe. There is a condition before that. It's not allowed for all Muslims people. It's not only related to the money, okay? So there is a condition before that. So you must know the condition to talk about the money. So not if all of us have the money and can do that. So there is a condition before that.
I think now in Arabian countries, this marriage for 2 or 3 women is common, but it is to solve the problem of unmarried women because they are getting older than 30 years. So in European, it's okay. The man can have a relation between 2 or 3 women. Nothing will happen. But if he's getting married, never he will get a girlfriend. So his wife will not accept, and she will take all his money. But for in Arabian countries, I think no. Just to solve this problem.
Okay, so well, I guess we are getting a little bit sidetracked, which is okay. And so I did not really pay attention to your point, safe. But
Yeah,
I guess
talking
we
about
should
dream.
blame Rick, huh?
Yeah, he was talking about his dream, I think.
We shouldn't
And
blame
for women.
any guys.
What did you say?
I
For
said,
No,
me?
him. Yes.
Him. I think Saif was talking about his dreams, and by bringing it.
Maybe, yes, maybe. yes, maybe. Is that the case, Safe? Are you dreaming? Okay, so do you have questions for Safe? Anyone else?
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, Saif, you talked about this marrying for 4 women is allowed in Islamic countries and Islamic rules. But have you seen any, I cannot say couple in this case, kind this relationship going well for any of them? I haven't seen. It is allowed in my country too, but I've seen just a few examples, and all of them, the life was ruined. Have you seen any success one?
You know what? I have known many married people, like 2, 3, 4, and they have happily married because they have, equality between their marriage, between their women. But I wanted to let you know that when people they come up with this concept, that's all I want to let you know.
But the concept. Do you know the concept or no? Safe? Can you hear me?
I know it. Even there is there is where mentioned in Quran. In Quran, you should marry 2, 3, and 4.
But the thing is, so I will give you the translation of the ayah. You will never be able to do perfect justice between wives, even it is your ardent desire.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the point.
The first one. But if you fear that you will not be able to justify with them, then only one or what your right hand process.
Yeah, and it's not just about money. You cannot buy women.
Yeah, no. Wait. So the ayah commands if you fear that you will not be able, between your wives by marrying more than one, then marry only one wife, or satisfy yourself with only female captives. For it is not obligatory to treat them equally, rather it is commanded. So if one does so, that is good, and if not, there is no harm on him. Did you get me?
Yes, I do agree with you. I do agree.
It's not related to the money at all. No.
Yeah.
Because because Islam to save people and to save women before all of that.
But I think we are moving to another topic.
Yes.
I mean, yes,
exactly.
So we should.
Sorry, no, just claim for safe here.
Okay.
I just want to tell Saif something.
No, okay, it's okay.
If you get married for one woman, never
we
you will
should be
think to get
confined
married.
in our particular topic, which is given to us. So, I think
that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. We'll let people finish their argument and then we move. Okay. So now we will, because we gave them the opportunity. They made the point. So who would like to go next? Anybody? I don't know who's next, actually.
My name is Rashid. Hi, Jamila.
Yes. Hello.
Actually, to me, that according to our religion, that you can feel jealousy with the people who are approaching to God. I mean, who are getting advanced to God's satisfaction by doing by doing good things. I mean, virtuous activities, and more you will do good things, more neki or award you will get from Almighty. So, and in our religion, it is said that you can feel jealousy with it, and you can try to you can try to surpass or surmount them by doing more virtuous activities to get more satisfaction, to get more I think pleasure of Almighty. So it is allowed in our religion, but if you try to possess the individuals assets, being victim of jealousy, it is not allowed. That's the thing I like to say.
So, if you guys know, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Rashid, you tie it to your religion, but forget about the religion part for a second. Okay? So just think about you as a man. Okay. So I didn't really understand what you were saying when I was listening to you. So are you somebody? Are you trying to say that you think that jealousy is healthy and it's okay?
Okay. If you if you have good qualities like helping other people, and you get reputation from in the world by doing good things, then if I feel that okay, I will try to be more honest than Richard by doing more virtuous activities, by showing more honesty. I think it can be morally and religiously accepted. It's my point of view.
Well, that's envy. What you're talking about now is envy, because what you're talking about is you see me doing something, and you want to do more. That's what we call being envious. That's not jealous.
Okay.
Jealousy. What's that?
Yes,
Okay.
right.
So
Envy,
does that make sense, Rashid?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's not jealousy. It can be envy.
Right.
But
right.
jealousy, jealousy is a negative connotation. So it cannot be. It can damage the relationship very much. So we should. But I think I'm not sure whether there are any points how to overcome jealousy in your article. I didn't read your article, but we should discuss those points.
Okay.
How to overcome and how can we get rid of this sort of bad things?
Well, in the article, let me quickly try to address your question, because in the article they address 3 or 4 major points when they talk about how to how do I say it? How to fight jealousy, okay, or how to fight the negative impact. One of the first things they talk about is your own feeling of security. Okay, so do you feel, do you have high self-esteem? Do you have a sense of self-confidence? Okay, how do you feel about yourself? Because what they say about jealousy, okay, at least if you read the articles, what they say, it's not about the other person. It has nothing to do with the other person. Okay, a lot of times you'll see in a relationship, someone says, well, I'm jealous because you do this and you do that. No. That to me, to be honest, what they're saying there is they're saying, take responsibility for your own feelings. Don't put those feelings on somebody else. They're free to do what they want to do, okay? Now, you might not like it. You might not like it, but they're free to do what they want to do, okay? Because, again, people should never control people, okay? A controlling relationship is not a healthy relationship, okay? And it never will be, because people are not property. They're not animals. They're not things that should ever be controlled or possessed, ever.
But it is very much commonplace in our country, because especially after marriage, the parents of husband, they feel very much jealous that after marriage my son is very much dedicated to his wife than us. Before marriage, he was so much dedicated to us. He was so much good person. Always tries to respect our rights, takes care of us. But after marriage, he doesn't take care of us. He is very much oblivious to us. That sort of incidents are very much commonplace in our society.
That's a really good point, Russia, that you bring up. That we didn't talk about that at all so far. And that's a really good point. I just came back. I was at the store earlier, and the people at the store I go to, they're from India, and some of them are some of them are recently. Actually, one of them just came here last week. So they're all Indian, and I talk to them a lot. And in your culture, and also in the Indian culture, and some other cultures, that relationship between the parents, and particularly the son, and if the son gets married, that can also be a relationship where there are strong feelings of jealousy, right? The wife may feel jealous because she feels her husband is spending too much time with the family, okay, with his parents, right?
Yes, it's very much a rampant practice. Widely practiced in our, and that's why many some people, I met some boys who just told me that I will marry after the death of my parents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually. I'm glad you brought that up because we haven't really talked about that. We've been talking more about individuals, but not so much the family. And again, that culture. And I don't think it's only your culture. I think that's also true in other parts of the world. Um, and you know, even here with some families, it's maybe not so common, but it is still, you know, here. So that okay. Thank you, Rashid. That's a interesting point
Thank
that you
you.
bring up.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Good job. Okay, so did we get to Soso yet? Soso?
Hello? I
Hey,
really don't
Soso.
know.
You don't know what?
I don't know what to talk about. Jealousy and envy. You are professional. You said it all. So what do you want me to say?
Well, I know.
I really don't know.
Well, yesterday you said that. Well, I mean, yesterday when when you and I did the scenario, you were
Yeah.
saying that you didn't really want to do it, you know, at the beginning because you don't feel, you know, what did you say? You
Yeah.
said you don't like jealousy or you don't feel that you're a jealous person. That's what you said. Okay. So
Yeah.
I was pretending to be the jealous person. Okay.
You did it very well.
Yes. Okay. So I guess. From a cultural standpoint, again, you and you know and Jamila and Hali still here are from
Yeah.
the same country, same culture, or similar cultures. Um, so I mean, how is this a big problem from a cultural standpoint? Forget about you as an individual. Just think about the larger context of the
Um,
culture. Is it a problem? You think?
well, it's not about problem. We how can I say? We try to work with this problem because it's universal. But I think that men are here in my country. Men are more jealous than women. So
Ah.
yeah, don't smile at her, don't smile at him, don't talk to him, don't do this, don't wear this, don't go there, don't do this. So I think yeah, men are more jealous more than women. Yeah.
Now, everything you just said, don't smile at him, don't wear these kind of clothes. That's kind of going back to something we talked about earlier. That's kind of a controlling mindset, right? It is, right?
Well, it is. It is not controlling, but someone who we are territorial to one another. If we care, we think that you are mine and I am yours. So we both feel the same way. So we don't know. We don't see it as controlling because I control you, you control me, and we control each other. So we don't see it as a controlling. We're
Okay.
both obsessed about each other. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of a quick question. I don't want to let you off that easy. Okay, that's too easy.
Yeah, that's too easy. Go for it.
So, if you let me think. Jamila, you have a question for Soso?
He wants help.
I want help. Okay.
You want to
Well,
say
I
more?
think no. I think it's not surprising what she said because I think it's very cultural, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is how we've been raised. Like you go into a relationship and it's kind of it's more a man controlling women rather than the opposite, I think. Because, for example, you, so if you are in a relationship, don't you think that 80%, let's say, if you are in a healthy relationship, 80% of what your man says, you would not obey, but let's say respect. But you can make comments, but I don't think he would listen to everything you say, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and this is how we've been raised. I mean, women, you should respect, well, we put it that way. You should respect your husband, your partner, your whatever. And I don't think they, even in our family dynamic, we don't necessarily teach our boys to have that kind of behavior with their partner. Of course, we teach them in general, but not necessarily the dynamic of a relationship, a man-woman relationship. It's more controlling. Like, I am the guy, I'm the man, you're the woman. And of course, there are good things in that, because we put actually a lot of pressure on men, because you have to work, right? You have to bring the money. So we teach them bad things, but at the same time, they have much more pressure, I think, in our society.
Okay. Well, now you made me think about something, Jamila. So thank you. You made me think about something. You gave me time to think. Okay. So
Rick thinks it's in trouble.
let's go back to so let's go back to what Rashid was saying earlier in Bangladesh, in his country. So in Algeria, again, there's a strong connection, as far as I know, strong connection, and Jamila just said it, between family and their children, even when their children get older. So do you see problems in your country similar to what Rashid talked about, where maybe the oldest son gets married, and he still is seen to be responsible for his parents, and so does that create problems in terms of the
I didn't understand the point.
The point is there could be jealousy between a man and a woman in terms of a relationship. There could be jealousy between friends. There's also jealousy within a family unit. So when a son or daughter gets married, now you bring somebody from outside into that family. Does that sometimes create problems because of the patriarchal, I guess that's the right word for it, approach that's used in Algeria, meaning that in Algeria, the sons, I'm assuming the sons are responsible for their parents' well-being, right? When the parents get older? Yeah? No?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, but we women, we respect the relationship between the father and the son, and the mother and the son. So we don't interfere in their relationship. So we don't feel jealous. We respect that, and we encourage that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
You
that's
might not, but what about your mother-in-law?
Yeah, we don't have that jealousy.
You don't
We
have
feel
that
more respect.
mother-in-law and daughter-in-law?
What?
That jealousy is very strong between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law normally.
In some places.
Yeah, but it's not jealousy. It's maybe because they don't respect the limit between each other. I have the same problem with my mother and her mother-in-law. So now I understand it's not jealousy. It's just my mother didn't understand the point of my grandmother, and now they are living happy. I live with my grandmother, and we live happy because we understand her points and she understands our points. So maybe my mother wants to impose her point of view over my grandmother, and my grandmother, she feels like she's the head of the house, and she should have her point very clear, made her point very clear. And now my mother understands that she should treat her as her mother, and even the comments that we'll give her, it's like mother and daughter comments relationship. So now my mother understands after a long time living together, so we're living together happy. It's not jealousy, it's just we don't understand the point of each other. Yeah, this is in Algeria. Misunderstanding. Yeah, because the mother-in-law loves her father, loves her son, and eventually will love his wife. But we should understand the relationship, because this is his mother, and this is
Okay.
So now we don't have that problem. Yeah.
But I think we should focus on balanced relationship. And if we can focus on balanced relation, jealousy will not be there, you know.
Okay, good.
Well-
So well done.
Well, with me being an only child, you know, of course I don't have the privilege of being of having siblings, and there's no jealousy or envy in my family. You know, we're all, you know, I was sort of jealous that my cousins had siblings, but that's different. You know, jealousy and envy don't really exist in my family.
Okay.
And with so-and-so, I think it's more of a, since the United States is multicultural, and since Algeria is like mostly Muslim, if it was, then that exists. Because if a country is mainly of like a certain faith, then that faith belief will dominate the country, but will become predominant. But if it comes from a multicultural, you know, society, then it's fair game, I guess.
Okay.
Well, you guess that, but the thing is, so jealousy and envy, it's a part of us, of all human being. It's not related to the country, so it's a feeling. So it depends. I would say so. Maybe I will be jealous for my friends, for my parents. So if you analyze that, which means people, I know them. Maybe it will be positive or it will be negative. So it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
It's not related. Yeah, no. So let me finish my point.
Yeah.
So it's not related to the culture or to the religion.
Okay.
And how do people accept or don't accept those feelings or those things or those words? Because sometimes just words for jealousy.
Okay, so I tell you what, I want to make sure everybody gets a chance. We have about 22 minutes left. Let's go ahead and go on to Jamila. So Jamila, from your, because before you were kind of responding to so what would you say about this topic?
Embrace jealousy, people. Because you know what, I feel
embrace jealousy.
I need to put that in quotes. Embrace jealousy, people.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I mean, yeah, because it feels like it sounds like disease that we should cure or something, but it's just natural, I think. And
Well,
Amy, it can be annoying if the degree is really high, like you're really overly jealous, because I think whether you are confident, whether you are very, very sure about your relationship, whatever, you know, friendship or love, at some point you will feel jealous. And it's just about the way you manage that. It's just about the way you react, because I think you mentioned it, and a lot of people did. I mean, we felt jealous because maybe we feel insecure sometimes. Maybe we see the other people around our partner, or maybe our friends or our family, the people we love and we care about. We see them as a threat, maybe, because they are, it's about attention again. So when the people we love have other people's attention, well, we think, okay, maybe they will like them more. Maybe they would like to spend time with them. So they will spend less time with me, right? Maybe they have maybe those people are smarter. Maybe they have much more sense of humor. So we think that even if you are confident, all of us, we think that at some point. So, and again, it's just about how you manage it. So if you are in a relationship with someone, and I think like you mentioned it, we obviously cannot control how people react. For example, if they have someone hitting on them in the street, so we cannot control that.
Okay,
However,
all right, hold on, Sergio, go ahead.
yeah, we cannot control that. However, we can influence it. For example, through the discussions we have. And I think it's up to us to voice our standards. And the mistake I think we make, and women, I think we make that mistake a lot. I mean, instead of focusing on how our partner reacts, we just put the attention on the people hitting on them. So we'd say, okay, she was doing that, blah, 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 because she's beautiful. So we actually put in ideas in his brain. So that's not good. And so I think instead we just should focus on him and say, okay, listen, what you did was not fine. It just doesn't work with me. This is not this is not how a relationship should work, not from my perspective. And if that's okay with you, then it's not okay with me, and that's it. So I think we just need to voice our standards. And I think in most cases, we are just afraid to lose the people we love. So we just, I guess, overreact. Maybe sometimes we just, and this is actually something we do, women. The difference between men and women, not all the time. Men, for example, when they are jealous, they get aggressive about it. They are pretty upfront. So for example, they are jealous now, in the second they just say it. Mm-hmm. But we women, we just, I guess, let things pile up. I mean, how do you say that?
You hold it in.
Yes, yeah. Yes, exactly. So instead of saying something and being honest, we just maybe become like silent. We don't say anything.
We need to
yes. Yeah, evidence. Yes.
We need to result.
Yeah, and this is something we do, and it's not okay. I mean, but I think in most cases, whether, for example, me, I am much more jealous when it comes to my friendships rather than my love relationships, because I don't tend to be jealous, to be honest. But when it comes to my friends, I am so much. I am really, I mean, I love my friends, and when I choose them, when I spend time with them, I get jealous. But when it comes to love relationships, I am not, because I think it just doesn't help. It doesn't. It just makes things worse. It does. And when I feel like maybe my partner is doing things that I don't like, I just say it. And if they are jealous too, I hate it. So no, I'm not jealous. But when it comes to friends, yes, I am. Oh my goodness, yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
It's like my friends, you're mine, huh?
You said something very oxymoronic at the beginning. You embrace jealousy. Why would you embrace that negative feeling? Let's like saying.
So Jamila, I like to ask you a question.
Wait, hang on a second. Rashid, wait, time out. Everybody, time out. Rashid, Jamie, hang on. Rashid, let Jamie finish asking his question, then you can ask one. Okay, so
how do you embrace a negative feeling?
I think it's just how do you embrace it? Well, you talk about it, okay? This is how you embrace it. So you recognize that you are jealous. You communicate that to your friend, maybe to your family, maybe to your partner. This is how you embrace it. But if you don't, and you just keep it for yourself, that becomes really like hate, and it's not good. No.
Yeah, but normally us guys are aren't very good at expressing our emotions. We could vent to other guys, but if we're gonna we can't. It would take a while for us to come out to our partner. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, Jamie, you're gonna have a second to speak in a second. Let's go ahead, because we're gonna run out of time. Rashid, you had a question?
No, I'd like to ask you, Jamila, suppose your partner does things which you don't like, so he's in another relation with others, so which you don't like, and he talks to other women, I mean, he is in close relation with other women you don't like, which you don't like. So, will you protest against it? And finally, would you like to break up the relation, or what?
To be honest, I don't have like many relationships, love relationships, but for example, my last one with my ex-boyfriend, his best friend is a woman. And actually I like her. And I never had even, I mean, 1 second, I never imagined that he would cheat or something. And we laugh actually about it. And now that we broke up, I would say, you should go to her. You know her, it's comfortable, your relationship. So we laugh about it. And I think the secret to this is just it's no big deal. I think, for example, if I am with a guy and so many women are gravitating around him, I'd be proud, to be honest. Well, that's my man, and he chose me, right? So I think instead of feeling threatened, you need to replace that sentiment, the threat, with pride, because you have him. And if he chooses to leave, well, that's his choice. You cannot do anything about it.
Oh,
and I think if I may add something, any relationship, in order for us to feel comfortable, it's also up to the other person to reassure us. Because if you feel really comfortable and if you feel that the person loves you, that you chose the right person, then you will not feel jealous. That's okay.
In short, you like to say, if you love anyone, you should respect their choice. Isn't it?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, very healthy view. Very healthy view. Okay, good job, Jamila. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. So Jamie, let's go to you, Jamie. So what do you think?
Well, I haven't been in a relationship. Well, I haven't been in a serious relationship. I've had some girls that I thought might like me, but most of the girls I hang out with are just my friends. I don't have any I have girlfriends, double words. I don't have a girlfriend common, proper compound word. But I'm sure if I did, I would try not to be jealous if she started seeing other started living with other guys. And I understand that we're all human. I don't want to tie a woman to myself if she's not happy with me. If she wants to see other guys, we should talk about it and say, okay, you don't love me, so yeah, I'll give you some space. If you feel like you want to come back, then fine. If you don't, then we can just be friends. It's starting to be jealousy and envy aren't very positive, but they exist. They hate to exist. It exists, but it's not really healthy to be jealous or envious of anybody. But that does happen. So yeah, it's par for the course.
Okay. Okay. So you said something, Jamie, that I have a question about, if you don't mind. So. Sure. When we think about respecting somebody in our life and their freedom to choose, again, nobody owns anybody in this world. They're not supposed to. Okay, there are actually some.
We own ourselves.
But and self-respect. Okay, so respect for yourself. Okay, so that's also really important.
Yes.
Right? So how if you were in a relationship with somebody and they were doing something that in a serious, intimate relationship, and they were doing something that you felt violated that relationship. So you can choose. Well, they were seeing somebody else. They were sleeping with somebody else. Okay. So you can choose. You can choose to sever those ties. Okay, to chop it off, right? And because you respect yourself. Okay, you have your own self-respect. Okay. You can choose to say, okay, that's her choice. I'm okay. You know. So how would you react to that situation?
If I knew that she was sleeping with somebody else and not giving me her full attention, I would say, I hear that you've been sleeping with so and so, and that you've given more attention to so and so. So if you're more happier, if you're happier than him rather than me, I accept that. I mean, I don't want to be out. I mean, I don't want to be controlling. So,
Okay.
let's just move on.
Okay. All right.
I know you didn't accept that from the guy, but I'm very open-minded. So maybe not all of us are pigs.
Well, it's not about being open-minded. I think, at least for me, I think that the question was geared more towards, we should, how do I say this? I think there's room to be able to care about somebody, but also have our own dignity. Okay, our own sense of self-respect or self-dignity. That's also important. Okay.
Yeah.
We shouldn't lower ourselves. So it's a balance. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any other questions?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Any other questions for Jamie?
Go ahead, Jamil.
Anybody else have a question?
I actually don't. This is interesting. No.
Wow.
Okay. I do have one more question, Jamie. I just thought about it. Okay.
All right.
So, to you, what is the difference between emotional jealousy and physical jealousy? Or is there a difference? Maybe there isn't.
I really don't think there's a difference. I mean, if I see, my girlfriend looking at some other guy and, she's like gravitating more towards him than to me, I'm like, okay, you don't love me more, so I think we should break up and you should go with him. If you're happier than him than you're with me, then I respect that. Then you should be with him rather than be with me.
Okay. No, you're supposed to go punch him in the nose, okay?
No,
okay.
I'm surprised Jamil didn't say anything. So I know.
And then wait. You punch him in the nose, then you say that, okay?
No, I don't like violence.
Okay, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
no,
I'm just
maybe I'm not.
Joke
Okay.
I'm going to say it's a joke on Jamila. I'm surprised you didn't say anything, Jamila, because you always have a lot of questions, which I respect.
I do. But when I hear something new and interesting, I'd like to take a minute to think.
Okay. So if you have any questions, I'm here. Shoot.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so let's go to, we still have 4 more people to go to, so let's go ahead and go to Maddie. Maddie, Maddie, how do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you Maddie or Maddie? Okay.
Maddie is good.
Okay.
But it's all the same.
I know. I don't know why I started calling you Maddie instead of Maddie. Okay, I was like,
you're thinking of the tea, the mate.
What do you think? What do you think about the topic?
Okay, what I say would be all repeat, but I say some of it. I think jealousy is just a natural thing, and it comes from caring. If you care about something or about someone, you would feel jealous about it. But what is matter is that this jealousy is controlled or it's uncontrolled. If it got out of control, it would become a sickness, and it needs a cure because it could harm you and your relationship and your partner. And if you control it, it would be totally normal, and all of the human, and even I said it in the chat box, even animals have it. When you have 2 pets and you care about one of them more, the other one would feel jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, of course. Another thing, and I think it could come from lack of self-esteem and lack of confidence. If you feel confidence, you wouldn't feel bad about someone in the street talking, saying a compliment to your wife or your girlfriend, because you would say that she chose me, so why should I be upset about it? Because anyway, she would choose me in any circumstances. I say that, but I have that kind of jealousy, and I'm sure I would react. So it's just a saying.
Okay.
And another thing is talking about envy. Envy, it could be has different results. You can envy something, or for example, having something that someone else had it, and you could think about it a good way and a bad way. If you think about it in a bad way, you would say, I want the one or the thing that the other one has it, so I will destroy it. I don't want him to have it. Or it could become a rivalry between you and him. Yeah. I personally do that. I take it as a rivalry. I try to get what he has. I try to work hard and try to have what I want. Yeah.
So on the topic of envy, you try to take it in a positive way.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. That's
but
interesting.
In a negative way, we saw it all. That someone who hasn't have something wants to just ruin for the other one who has it.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I like that second part. I thought that was very interesting perspective. Okay, I'm gonna stop probably asking so many questions because we still have a few more people to go through. I want to try and give everybody time to speak. So unless somebody else has a question for Maddie, anybody have a question? Okay, so let's go to. So we still have Noor, Mariam, Khali, and I don't know if Salavat wants to speak as well, and then myself. So let's go to Mariam. Do you want to say something? Mariam, are you here? And Flory, you as well. I see you're popping in and out. Flory, did you want to say something? Flory?
Sorry.
Huh?
Work very slow, my tablet.
The tablet's working very slow.
Okay, so did you want to say something, Flory?
I was in a jealous relationship. You know very well I divorced for that. Because I think jealousy isn't a good feeling, and if you start with small things, after some times you developed many frustration, your imagination grow up, so start fighting, start domestic violence. After that, sometimes, unfortunately, crime. So when we start and fight together, he suspected something. I don't know why, because we were in the same place. But in fact, he was a person who started and cheater, because I don't say anything. He started and suspected me. You do this, you do that. When he started with it, I said, okay, this means you don't love me anymore. So please, if you want to start divorce, I agree. So he said, no, I don't want it. Then I will do it. I find proved he has another woman. I said to him, but he denied. I don't start fight why you go with her, why you do with that. I just want put this bad situation and start divorce. But he start with violence. He start and threaten me. And he said, if you go and start divorce, I will kill you. Yes, for this moment, we haven't rules for protected women, so I have no help. And I said this, if my destiny is I be killed, okay, let be it. And I go and I start a divorce. I said, anyway, I'm not eternal. I die one day. So I get the risk and I start divorce. Was a big scandal. He beat me, he beat children. I call police. He threatened police. He received some penalty, but he don't care. After that, I forced him to leave house. In fact, was my house. And when I was at job, he come here. I don't know why. One broken door. My daughter opened door and he beat her. I have 3 dossiers for one for divorce and 2 for beaten children. But again, I make a compromise. And I didn't put him in jail because, you know, when your children go and apply for a job, they ask about did your parents were in jail, do something wrong? So I renounce at it because of children. I forget everything and I move on. How you see, many people are in my situation. Now we have rules. Police come if you call police. Now they come. But many people are afraid. If husband, boyfriend, they said, I will kill you, they are afraid. But I said, if this is my destiny, I accept it. Because I worry, I stay and I die because I get stressed every day. Or kill me is the same situation. So this is the story.
Well, you know, well, I'm glad you got out of that situation. That's all I got to say, okay? Because that's not healthy. Domestic violence is never
nice
okay.
job, Blair.
It's never ever okay. So glad that you guys got through it, Flory. Okay.
And another situation when I very young, we was a group of 4 girls. We meet some boys. We go at meeting, but a girl get my boyfriend. And yes, and I said, this mean you are an unserious boy. You don't want a serious relationship, so you go from girl to girl. So I'm glad you do that before we start, I don't know, a serious relationship or a family. I saw behavior, yes, yes. So I'm glad happened this.
Well, yeah, sometimes things work out for a reason. So, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, Flory. That's and again, the most important thing is always our, our health and those things. So, no domestic violence is good.
No,
Okay.
no one.
So
No violence at all. No.
yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, let's go ahead and go to Noor. Noor, do you want to say something? Noor?
Yes.
What do you want to say?
After this story, really, it's so poor and so sad story. But inshallah, she will get a beautiful life. Well, for jealousy, I passed on all this stage with boyfriend, engaged, and now is married. But I think after I heard her story, never I will be jealous again.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. So you're from Egypt. So from we talked earlier. You've heard different people in different parts of the world. Here in the United States, you heard people in Europe. You heard other people living in North Africa. So how do you view jealousy from a cultural standpoint? Is it something in Egypt that's common or not common, or how do you view it from a cultural standpoint?
Well, it's common, but I think not to change to aggressive or envy. So I think there is in another countries, if someone is jealous, that will lead him to do or to react in cruel reactions, like to trap someone or trick him. So for me, I didn't pass this bad situations, but there is jealousy. Yeah, there is, but not harm me, or I will harm someone, as you said, like emotions.
Right. So you're saying that having some emotional jealousy is probably healthy, but taking some kind of action, negative action based upon that feeling is not good.
Yeah, but I have to control this jealousy, because sometimes you can't imagine what will happen in future.
Yeah, and you okay. So Nora, you bring up a really good point that again. For those that become, I would say, overly, again, I do believe that there's some level of jealousy is probably natural, but becoming overly jealous can be very dangerous because it can actually make you do crazy things, okay? Right? It can really take control of you emotionally if you're not careful. And I see we lost her, but that's one of the challenges, I think. So let me quickly, I think we had a chance to hear pretty much everybody. I'm going to quickly say what I think, then I've got to go because I've got some more paperwork to do since today is my last official day in the government. Okay.
All right. Hey.
Yes, I officially retired today. Okay. Anyway, well,
congratulations, Rick.
I won't get paid for some time, but the paperwork will be done, okay? All right. So...
in this situation, what should we say in English? Congratulations, or we're sorry? So what you should say?
It's like that's a good question. I haven't really thought about it because I'm obviously not stopping working because now I'm just going to focus in the future 100% to dreams and motion. It's just a changing of my life. Okay, officially today.
The times they are changing.
Okay.
But we waiting for party.
Well, I'll have a retirement party one day with all of you. I'll do my best. Okay, I already said that before.
We should
All right.
sing something like Happy New Life to Rick. Happy New
Life to Rick. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Record that. We can make a lot of money. Okay. All right.
There you go. I know we did. Yeah. Wow.
So,
Nice.
okay. So, when I look at this topic, it's really interesting to me because, I've been in various relationships. Most of them were good. They obviously didn't work out because I'm still single, but at the time they were good. Okay. And I can laugh about it now. Okay. But, I think that they are, some level of jealousy is probably unavoidable because
Yeah.
again it's a human emotion and we're not robots, but I also firmly believe that we have to be really careful because it can become very dangerous very quickly and it can be like a cancer in a relationship or like a disease. Okay. And I shared the story the other day about, when I was with my ex-wife and I was helping some lady reach for some groceries on the top shelf and my ex-wife got mad and walked home. Okay. And I was just helping her get some groceries. Okay. But that is where it's excessive. Okay. And usually, again, to me, my feelings are when we become really jealous about something, it's because we have some kind of insecurity. Maybe we don't feel comfortable that the relationship is stable. Maybe we suspect something. Okay. Maybe we don't feel comfortable with ourselves for some reason. Okay. We don't feel like we're adequate or something. Okay. So to me, the idea of jealousy is not looking at the other person. Okay. But looking at ourselves. I firmly believe that. Okay. Every fight I've got, every physical fight, other than in my military days, the physical fight I've got in my life has been over a woman. Okay.
Really?
Okay? So I'm
Damn.
gonna share one funny story with you guys because now I think about it, it's actually kind of funny. Okay. You guys will be the first to hear this, other than maybe some very, very close friends here. Okay. So
Right.
a long time ago, when I first joined the military, my ex-wife and I were I think I mentioned it maybe to a few people, but we're at a club on a military base. We're at a club and we like dancing. Okay. We used to like to go dance and stuff. Okay. So we're in the club and we're there with some of her friends, right? I'm trying to, okay. So we're there with some of her friends and we're having some drinks, right? And this guy walks over and bumps the table. We had the drinks on the table, and we're sitting around the table. Bumps the drinks. And my ex-wife, I give her credit. She was a fighter too. Okay, she was like boom, 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 boom. Okay, so not against me. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, but anyway,
Go on.
this guy had bumped it. He was a big guy. Okay, and I mean I'm pretty big too, but he was really big. So he bumped the table and he said something, and we'd been drinking a fair bit, okay, and she reached over and she punched him like boom, right, and I was sitting at the table like okay because I've been drinking too much, okay, so anyway. The police came over and we decided, okay, we need to leave because this guy had it was just me and a bunch of girls, okay, my ex-wife and her girlfriends, okay. This guy had like 2 or 3 of his friends, guy friends, okay, and we're all in the military, okay. So we're leaving and we're going out to our car, and I noticed this guy. He's also leaving with 2 of his friends, 2 guys, okay. So the fresh air got into my face, and I started to wake up a little bit, and I realized that I had just sat there and watched this guy said something to her, and and maybe this is why I don't drink anymore. Okay, so I had sat there and watch him say something and watched her boom, boom, boom real fast, right? And I felt embarrassed that, hey, I didn't do anything. I felt like it was my honor to protect her. Okay, so I walked over to the guy and I said something, and it's like me and he's got 2 of his friends with him, so there's 3 of them, right? And I said something to him, and he reaches and boom to me. Oh my gosh. That was his mistake, okay? Because I got him, I threw him on the ground, right? And I was like, bah, 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 right? And then his friends. So think about a bunch of people on the ground. So this guy was underneath me. I was on top of him. His friends were on top of me, okay? Right? And then my ex-wife jumped on top of his friends, okay? And then she was like, right?
Damn.
Finger, right?
Back down.
So I was just thinking that every and there's some other things I won't talk about them, but there were a couple of things. So every physical not related to my time in the military, but every physical fight I've been in was because of being involved with somebody. Okay, so
In this corner,
I told myself,
Rick the sandwich Howard.
I
In that
told
corner, the other
myself,
guy.
so I told myself, I said, you know what? That's not a healthy relationship where you're getting into a lot of physical fights. Okay, all right, that's not a healthy relationship. Okay,
No.
so I learned a lot from that. I started thinking about it a lot. So that made me realize that it can go to extremes, okay?
Yeah.
And people can get hurt, okay? And it's just it can be a very dangerous emotion. We have to be really careful. Again, it's a natural emotion.
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
have to know how to manage those emotions, okay? And again, Jamila said something earlier I really like. She said, communicate. So yeah, if we have a feeling like that, then we should talk. Say, hey, you know, I've been concerned about something. Let's sit down and have a talk about it. You're important to me. You know, our relationship's important. I want to make sure that we work things out. Or if not, maybe they won't work out. Okay. But the point is to at least have that communication, because if we keep those feelings inside of us, it's like a volcano that erupts. Okay. Okay. And we have to be careful of volcanoes. All right. So the point is that, you know, again, we just have to really know how to manage those things. Okay. And again, I think there's two types of things we have to look at. There's the emotional jealousy, where you know, we feel like somebody is sharing their emotions with somebody and not with us. And then there's physical jealousy, okay, where we think maybe somebody is physically attracted to somebody else for a physical reason. And I think we have to understand that they are different. Now, for some people, they might be the same thing, but they are different. And anyway, so that's all I had to say. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So you said you shared your story. I think it's for long time. So after this long time, do you now, as Richard Howard? Yeah. So do you now consider yourself a jealous person?
Do I consider myself a jealous person? No.
Yeah.
No, I will say, I don't consider myself a jealous person, but I will say that the emotional aspect, I don't like to, because they're both important, but I would say the emotional aspect of any relationship is the most important to me. The physical aspect is important too, but the emotional aspect, and there's a reason for that, but I would say that you know, no, I don't consider myself to be excessively. I think, again, all of us have a little bit. I think that's a human being, and to say I have no jealousy, maybe I'd be lying. Okay. Because I think all of us have some, but I don't consider myself to be a person that has, you know, if I was with somebody and somebody, you know, paid a compliment to her, I wouldn't feel jealous about that. I would be like, huh, yeah, she does look good. Okay. Yes. Okay. You know, that would not bother me. No.
May I say something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Do I understand quite correctly that jealous is not just a bad emotion? It's considered to be bad because it provokes some bad actions, right? And that's why I strongly against to consider this emotion as a bad, because I work with children, and if I told them that emotion is bad, that means that they are bad. They think that if they feel something bad, they are bad. It's very dangerous situation. Yeah, it's very important to just separate feeling and actions. You can feel it. It's sometimes it's quite normal to feel jealous and envy, but your reactions is more important than this feeling. How you react, how you try to cope with these feelings.
Yes.
So, okay.
No, I strongly, Mila, I think that's a really, really good point. And like I said, I mean, jealousy, again, is a natural human emotion, okay? So we shouldn't be saying that, it's the actions that come from that are so dangerous. Okay. Or that's the way I look at it. Some level of jealousy as a human emotion is healthy. It's natural. Now, I think there can be excessive, where if somebody is in a relationship and they are feeling excessive jealousy, where they are in their mind, they can't think about anything else. Okay, they stop eating, or they stop, taking care of themselves. Or now, yeah, that can. But again, that's the action part of it, right? The emotion itself is not. I mean, it's a human thing. It's a human feeling, right?
Okay.
And even envy. I mean, none of us are God. None of us, for those that have a belief, none of us are perfect. We're always going to have some of these feelings in us because we're human beings. That's just natural. It's when it gets to excessive jealousy or excessive envy. I think that's where it gets really dangerous. Uh, and not only to the relationship, but to ourselves, right? If you're in a relationship where there is excessive jealousy and it results and people get hurt, physically get hurt sometimes, that can have consequences that last for the rest of your life, right? So that's why we have to be careful how we treat these things, and I think we have to look at children maybe a little bit differently, because they don't have the life experience that adults have, right?
Yes, they must not think that they are
Yes,
just
yes, yes, yes,
something
yes.
wrong with them.
Right, 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 right. No, and that's a good point, that we have to look at this in terms of the age groups, because that does have it is related to it, or it's relative. So yeah, I would agree with that. Okay. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh,
I
you
have a
guys are so.
question.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about the definition of jealousy. You said before that jealousy, it means that when you fear to lose someone or something, right? It's a fear to lose something.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So jealousy is the feeling we have when we're afraid of losing something, or when something we have, we feel threatened of something that we have.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, can we apply that, for example, for a father and daughter, for example?
Hmm.
When imagine that, or I don't know, or maybe mother and son. Imagine that
Yes.
that scenario that you said before
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
if someone comes to your girlfriend, for example, and say you look pretty. So what will happen if someone said, when you are with your daughter, for example, that you look nice, and do you think that it is acceptable, or maybe you wouldn't care if he said so?
I think it's a little bit different, because the emotions obviously that we share for I'll just call it a lover, okay, or somebody that we have intimate. The emotion, I think every human relationship is a little bit different. Obviously, the relationship we have, with our child, okay, is obviously different than the one we have for somebody that's an intimate partner, right? So I don't think, if I was out, let's say my daughter and I, we wanted to go to the beach, okay, and we're at the beach and some guy comes up to her and says, "Oh, you look good." Now, as her father, I might I might say, "Okay, guy, come on, back off," okay. But it's not really a jealousy. That's not really, to me, a jealousy. That's no, I wouldn't consider that to be jealous. I think that's just parental. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how to say it.
Parental jealousy? You afraid to lose your daughter?
Well, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's more of a protective feeling. When you're a
Uh-huh.
parent, the number one feeling you have I think any parent, is a sense of protection for your children. That's the number one thing,
Yeah.
the number one emotion you have for your children. Because, think about it. I was reading something the other day about, the relationship. I was reading about the difference when our parents pass away. It's sad. It's really sad. But it's natural. Okay, it's natural, because our parents are older and we do expect them to pass away before us. When you lose your child, it's unnatural. That's not natural. Okay, so it has a different impact on us emotionally when we lose a child, okay? Because of that relationship. So I think it's the same thing. I think, as a parent, you have this instinct. That's the word I was looking for. This instinctual need to protect, just like you do as a to me, if I'm with a woman, and I'm in a relation, I have an instinctual need to protect her, okay, to keep her safe, right?
Yeah.
So just like it's just something that we have in our DNA. Okay, just like a mother. If you ever watched a female tiger protect her cubs, or a lioness, okay, she will do everything to protect her cubs, right? Because it's just kind of a natural instinct that we have. So yeah. So, but I don't think it's really jealousy. No, I don't think it's a jealousy. It's more of a sense of protective nature.
Then is selfishness, because some parents keep their children in cave. They are very jealous when they find a boyfriend or girlfriend, and where they want to get married.
Well, I know what you're saying now, and that's a little bit different, I think. And again, I understand, Flory, what you're saying, and I guess it depends upon the relationship. I think it depends upon the relationship. For any father or a parent to let their children go when they get older is hard. It's one of the hardest things any parent will go through, and for those that are parents, they know this. Okay, it's very, very hard. Okay. But you are letting go because you think it's best for that girl or boy to have their own life. Now, there are some parents, and again, some of this is cultural. There are some parents that maybe feel like the obligation of the children is to take care of their parents. Okay, and for that reason, they may fear letting them go. Okay. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not judging that, okay? I'm just saying that does happen, okay? So in my situation, I don't have, there's no responsibility my daughter has for me whatsoever, okay? I'm a grown, healthy man, and actually, I help her, okay? I don't expect her to help me. She's the one I see I have a responsibility to, okay? So I understand what you're saying, Flory, and yeah, and there are some parents that so again, I think every parent looks at it a little bit differently. I think I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Okay. Okay. So listen, I have to go because I have to go fax some paperwork to the government so I can say goodbye to them. And then anyway, so thank you. It was an excellent session today. Very, very interesting. A lot of good comments, a lot of interesting points. Well, it is. It was an emotional topic, okay, because it involves people we care for. Anytime you are talking about something where there are feelings involved, there's always going to be some some emotions tied to it. So that's just natural, but it's interesting. So. Yeah. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.